Every product runs through basically the same life cycle. And what happens to that product as it goes through the life cycle depends on what the marketers and the product developers do with the product and where they want to take the product. So we'll start with the first phase. Phase 1 of the life cycle includes the introduction stage and the product development stage. So these two things kind of go hand in hand. A product is developed, it's conceptualized, folks are deciding what the product's going to be, what is it going to look like, how will it be packaged, where will it be sold, and the product gets launched. In this stage, sales are pretty slow as people are not yet aware of the product. In this stage, advertising efforts are mostly about informing the market that the product exists and where they can get it, and typically there's no profit in this stage. This is where the new product is launched. In phase 2 of the life cycle, it's about profit. Sales are starting to grow rapidly. Now, advertising and promotional efforts have changed from informative to persuasive. In this stage, prices might be reduced because there's competition coming into the market. And in order to be more competitive, marketers will lower the prices so that they can beat the competition. Profits are starting to develop in the growth stage of phase 2 of the life cycle. After phase 2, we enter into the maturity stage, which is phase 3. Phase 3, competitors are getting intense in the marketplace. So now we're having to use promotional advertising, promotional pricing. You're having to get more creative. The competition has really intensified. Sales are now starting to slow down. Advertising expenditures are at their highest. This is when you're advertising as much as you can to maximize the amount of growth that you're going to get out of this product. As this stage kind of comes to an end, profits are going to start to fall. They're going to flatline here and then they're going to start to fall. The product has saturated the market. This means that there's enough competition out there and everybody's selling the same thing so that there's really not room for any more competitors in the market. So things are really starting to slow down now. Now this is where one of two things are going to happen. When we go into the next stage, phase 4, the product is going to decline. And now the marketers and the product developers have a decision to make. Are they just going to let the sales fall? They're going to let the product die, basically. It's going to lose its appeal. It will have ran its course. Or many times this is the stage when the product developers will revamp the product. They'll come out with a new and improved version of the product, in which case the product will start the life cycle all over again, back from the introduction stage. Sometimes production will be stopped here. Sometimes a new product will be developed as a result. This is the product life cycle. Once it's all put together, as you can see, as sales on the left margin right there, as sales are going up and time is going by, the product is going from introduction to growth through the maturity stage where sales flatline and then into the decline. And it may or may not die right there at the decline stage. Perhaps it will be reintroduced. Here's an example. The Apple Watch. The original Apple Watch was introduced in April of 2015. It was, I guess, our most basic of the Apple Watches. This is the Series 1 Apple Watch. A year later, Apple Watch Series 2 comes out. So after this watch ran through its life cycle, it was introduced and the sales were slowly increased and they flatlined. Apple is very good at reinventing their products and coming out with improvements to start the product life cycle all over again. So Series 2, it had an improved battery life and they had updated the design just a little bit. After that product runs its course, Apple comes out with Series 3. Now they've added GPS, they've changed the color finishes, they've improved the display features, and now currently we're sitting here with the Apple Watch Series 4. This watch, just recently introduced, offers some real health benefits. It's got a heart monitor in it that can actually diagnose more heart problems. It also includes fall detection. It's become more water resistant as well. So Apple is an example of a great company who takes their products through the product life cycle, and they know when it's time to let the product die. For example, the iPod is now a product that Apple has decided to let die. But many times they will reinvent the product and continue to come out with new and improved products in that category. I hope you understand the product life cycle. Now your job is to create an example, just like I've done with Apple Watches, where you take us through the product life cycle for a product of your choice.